Alrighty then. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we're just gonna wait a few minutes and see who else might show up here. Happy Monday, as it were. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Anyway, while we're waiting for some more people to show up here. Walking in a town, in a faceless crowd, I need to feel the touch, friend. In the countryside, I wander far and wide. Isolation gets me again. I don't know where to go when I feel like crying. Oh my, it's time to open myself, do something new. I want to stop and grow up a bit. Then suddenly my intuition and my wisdom grow. And then I know that most of all, and compassionately, strangers wherever they go. Thank you for waking me up. Hong Kong Fooey, #1 super guy. Hong Kong Fooey, quicker than a human eye. Chick, 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 wah, 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 bam, bam. Hong Kong Fooey, you're terrific. No one knows the neighborhood, terrifies the neighborhood. To be on top, playing pranks on everyone. You can win it with you. Oh, there goes Mac on his routine mission. Will he lose or win? With that 4-ply diaper and that safety pin. Fantastic, Mac. Mass crusaders working overtime, fighting crime, fighting crime. Secret raiders who will neutralize to terrorize. With all trends gonna lead the mission. Spectrum's got such supervision. Mask is a mighty power that will save the day. Mask, no one knows the lies behind the masquerade. Mask, always riding on heaven's trail, and in a laser ray, on his way. Thunder, 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 thundercats, ho! Feel the magic, hear the roar, thundercats are loose. Thunder, 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 thundercats. Thunder, 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 thundercats. Do 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 do. Well, thank you, whoever dropped in a like there. I appreciate that. Do 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 do. Hey, Rick. Yeah, Thundercats roar, my friend. How you doing, man? Now, looks like we got one other person in here, so that's cool. Hey, Mike. Hey, Rick. Thanks for popping in. Hopefully you can. Hopefully you share it, and we can get some more people in here. Looks like we got a couple people in here now, so let's see. We'll wait a. Well, let's see. So what's been going on with you, Rick? Anything exciting happened for you over the weekend? I know Friday you had. I guess you had your. You had your launch party, I believe, right? Hear the magic, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, 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 thundercats. Thunder, 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 thundercats. All right, well, we're at the 5-minute mark now, so guess it might be a good time to get started. So basically tonight I have 5 articles to go over, all from Bounding into Comics. Now tonight we're just focusing strictly on anime tonight. When I saw like Bounding into Comics had all anime, so now that doesn't mean, of course, we'll have the wrestling roundup and this day in each history too. It just means no comic articles for tonight, but I hope you'll still stick around to catch, some of the other niche news and anime and some of the stuff going on there. Hello, third person. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well tonight. And if you can like and share the stream, that will certainly give us a hand here. Anyways, on tap for tonight, as I said, we got 5 anime articles to go over, including My Hero Academia Season 6 has confirmed the release date, the new trailer. Rent a Girl, also with another anime with a confirmed release date, Rent a Girlfriend Season 2. We have some Ruby news, as well as Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch, and the Western Astro Boy reboot is in development. So those are the 5 stories we're going to probably go over tonight here. Just been pondering, or just promoting one of my action figures sold. Oh, okay, that's cool. So hopefully, with all that being said now, why don't we go ahead and get started with the news articles then? And we're now coming up on 7 minutes here. So let's get going on here. Let's see. Alrighty then. So here we go. So here's the first article we're going to look at. Anyway. Alrighty then. So here we go. Here's the first article we're going to look at tonight. My Hero Academia Season 6 confirms release date with new trailer. Article by Nerdigans, published June 23rd, 2022, which was last Thursday. Okay, so prepare to go plus ultra once more as the 6th season of My Hero Academia's anime adaptation has officially confirmed the premiere date for its take on the paranormal liberation arc. For its take on the paranormal liberation arc. Here's the bottom. Announced as in production at the conclusion of the 5th season's final episode, the 6th season of Studio Bones' adaptation of Kohei Horikoshi's best-selling manga received its latest trailer on June 19th, which was a little over a week ago. I believe that was last Sunday. Not yesterday, but a week ago Sunday. Focused on highlighting the 3 assault force whose combined hero and police memberships will aim to bring down the Paranormal Liberation Front. The trailer opens with a shot of Deku, "Don't Toy With Me." Shot of Deku, "Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro," looking into the distance and declaring that their fight against the villain organization is, quote unquote, finally starting. I get what they were trying to say there. Then it didn't seem to make much. And for those of you who don't know, "Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro" is another anime. Just so you know it. It's a slice of life anime. The trailer goes on to show Endeavor, who's voiced in Japan by Tetsu Inada, who voices Juzo Katakura in Tomodachi Game, officially kicking off a raid of Jaku General Hospital where hidden within it is the in smaller quotes quirkless Dr. Kyodai's, voiced in Japan by Minoru Inaba, who voices Dale um, in Disney. All right. Um, Nomu producing Villain Factory, wherein Shigaraki is currently slumbering. It next cuts to show Hawk, who is voiced in Japan by Yuichi Nakamura, who portrays Satoru Gojo in Jujutsu Kaisen, who at this point in his undercover mission into the Paranormal Liberation Front has already befriended twice, apologizing for his deception of the villain. Quote, "Forgive me, devil's pawns," unquote, says Hawks in reference to twice, feeling bad about his inevitable betrayal of someone who he believes is a genuinely good person. Eraser is also seen getting ready to avenge all those who were um, who were experimented on by Kyodai, Dr. Kyodai, um, raising his goggle, his I think it's supposed to be goggles, not Google. Anyway, well, here it's saying raising his Googles, but I think it's supposed to be goggles there. In vengeance of all the people whose lives and bodies were tinkered with and ultimately tossed aside. Following a few brief flashes of some of UA's other combatants, including um, She Mage and Midnight, the trailer turns to focus on the Villa raid team um, as they begin their storming of Gunga Mountain Villa, the headquarters of the PLF. While the unit's first wave rushes forward, the the rear Villa backup team, whose membership consists primarily of students in Class 1A, sits in wait of any villain who happens to get past the front line. Let's see. Anything. And as always, guys, of course, feel free to comment on, if anything catches your attention or anything like that. Feel free to comment or ask any questions. I try to answer them as best I can. Alrighty then. Okay, so getting back to the article here. Then the trailer shifts to present the series' core villains, most notably Dabi, who is voiced in Japanese by Hiro Shimona, who voices Zenitsu Agatsuma in Demon Slayer. I believe Zenitsu in English is voiced by Alexis Lee in the English dub, who unleashes an attack after being shaken by the fact that Hawk knows his real name. Speaking of Hawks, Twice, who is voiced by Daiichi Endo, who voices Mon Kaio in Baki, who, heartbroken and betrayed, has begun lashing out at the man he believed was his friend. Led by Burning and made up mostly of UA trainees, we soon see the evacuation team running down from their mountaintop starting position to begin their assignment of evacuating the area surrounding Jaku General Hospital and moving inhabitants to safety. Eventually, we also see the man of the hour himself, Hawks, enter the fray to fight twice. Though, while still holding out the slight hope that he can convince him to switch sides, leaving his emotions at the door, Hawks bluntly tells his friend, quote, "I've made it this far, and I'm not going to make the mistake. I'm not going to make the mistake," unquote. After one more montage of the season's key players, the trailer ultimately ends the shot of Shigaraki, who is voiced in Japanese by Koki Uchiyama, who voices Roxas in the Kingdom Hearts series, who, in the process of fusing with All for One, declares, quote, "I'm not supposed to put this out, no matter what," unquote. This eerie warning then gives way to the reveal that the series will return to television this fall, beginning in October 2022. Let's see if you guys start saying anything yet. Nope. Say anything more, anyways. Nope. Alongside the trailer, Studio Bones also released two new key visuals for the season, which respectively depicts the quote unquote powered up states of both Deku and Shigaraki. Wow, that's some interesting artwork there, huh? Are you excited for this surprise addition to the already jam-packed fall 2022 anime season? Let us know your thoughts on the. Well, fall always turns out to be a good premiere season for anything that goes on. So, anyways, getting ready to move on to the next article here. That's far. All right, so here we go. Here's the next article we're going to look at. Rent a Girlfriend Season 2 confirms release date with new trailer. Article by Nerdigans, published June 23rd, 2022, which is last Thursday. So it's time for fans to raise the flags and grab their hashtags, as the Rent a Girlfriend anime production team has officially confirmed the date for Kazuya and Shizuru's return to the small screen. Dropped by TMS Entertainment on June 11th, which probably 2 weeks ago this past Saturday. The latest look at the second season for their animated adaptation of Reiji Miyajima's romantic comedy series begins with Shizuru, the character voiced by Sora Amamiya, who voices Aqua and Konosuba, and Kazuya, who is voiced in Japanese by Shun Horie, who voices Leonhard von Hevering in Fire Emblem and Fire Emblem Three Houses, visiting their local batting cage together at the former's request. Explaining that she goes to the place to let off steam. Shizuru informs Kazuya that they're not there together on a date, but rather he was brought along because she finds it exhausting dealing with the male attention she gets when in attendance alone. Trying to stave off the advances by having a guy just sit there, to make it believe that she's already spoken for. Quite an old trick there. The trailer then cuts to show Mami, a character voiced in Japanese by Aoi Yuki, who voices Suyu Asui, My Hero Academia. I believe that's the frog girl, the girl who's kind of the frog. I believe Monica Rial does her English voice. Tempting to tell Kazuya that she knows the actual circumstances behind his relationship with Shizuru. We then see Sumi, voiced by Rie Takahashi, who voices Megunim in Konosuba, as she meets up with Kazuya, who is helping her become more outgoing as a rental girlfriend, in exchange for her help finding a birthday present for Shizuru. Finally, the series Love Pentagon is completed by the appearance of Ruka, voiced by now Toyama, who portrays High Elf Archer in Goblin Slayer, who we see over at Kazuya's cooking turtle curry for the two of them. Yes, turtle curry does exist. As the saying goes, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Interesting. All right. Anyways, so I said, if anything catches your attention or anything, feel free to comment or ask anything. At one point, we see Shizuru holding the script to the recent play she performed in, The Princess and the Blue Heron, close to her chest, with a label reading, quote, goal in colon, no regrets, unquote, written on the script's cover. Shizuru feels pride in her performance because she took one step towards her dream of quitting the rental girlfriend business to pursue her dream of acting. She then confesses this dream to Kazuya, explaining that her dream also bears an immense amount of pressure. Well, I think it's supposed to say pressure, but they missed the R there apparently. As it's fueled by the fact that she wants her grandparents to be able to see her perform on the big screen. However, with her grandpa having already passed and her grandmother currently dying, Shizuru finds herself running out of time to accomplish her goal. Yeah. Give me a moment. As it would appear, Chloe is barking. Chloe's wanting attention, so I'll need to step away from the computer for a moment. I will leave you guys some music to listen to as I'm away. I'll be right back. Glad I'm back. Back. So we'll get back to the article here then. Eventually, the trailer finds the two visiting the aforementioned grandma, Sayori, voiced in Japanese by Sayori Tadaka, who voices Anju Kabaragi in Tiger and Bunny. In the hospital, during which she has a heart-to-heart with Kazuya about her granddaughter. Still under the impression that the two are actually aliens, she requests Kazuya take care of the Chizuru, telling him that Chizuru is not very good at accepting her weaknesses. So instead, she hides her weakness by wearing her strong persona as a suit of armor, unquote, Yumi. So in a sense, she's truly an accomplished actress. She can't keep the accent forever. One of these days, she will need someone who she can show her true self to. That's why I asked her, please take care of us together. Wow. Isn't that kind of sweet? Well, look, I guess that's the scene that say that. Now, that's pretty customary in Asian culture when they're really acting like a favor like that. They'll bow their head to the person trying to. The most surprising um, moment of the trailer, the scene, the end scene amongst the montage of the season's upcoming event, and Yuka, still under the belief that she and Kazuya are still good. Um, Suguru to heal him first, and he sees something of future pain by kissing Kazuya. Um, and let's just say that Yuka is However, and the Suguru party, the Apollonia Suguru, he and his grandson living in Florida, like Sayori, all the real whether it's so really that we see it really excited. We're just so English audiences, courtesy of Crunchyroll. The website also revealed the titles for Ice Queendom's um, first 3 episodes, which are listed as Red, White, Black, Yellow, This is Beacon, and A Nightmare Comes, respectively. Officially revealed on March 25th, after a premature announcement by Crunchyroll the day before, Ruby Ice Queendom will tell a quote Kenan adjacent unquote story featuring quote new characters, new settings, new surprises, and of course, new Grimm unquote. Conceptualized by Gen Orobochi of Puella Magi Madoka Magica Common Raider game. Ruby Ice Queendom will be animated by Shaft, who of course also did Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Directed by Kinjiro Okada, who directed March Comes In Like a Lion, and feature scripts by To Ubukata, Ghost in the Shell Arise. Let's see. The series will feature characters designs conceptualized by illustrator Hook, um, Black Rock Shooter, did, and finalized for animation by Nobuhiro Sugiyama, Arakawa Under the Bridge, as well as visual direction from Nobuyuki Takuchi, who of course did work on Digimon Adventure, Bokora no War Game, who alongside Yoshiaki Ito, who was involved with Tenchi the movie, Tenchi Muyo in Love, and Hiroki Yamamura from Kitsu Monogatari Trilogy, um, will also serve as the project's chief animation directors. Nobuko Toda and um, Kazumi Jimochi from Netflix Ultraman round out the production crew as the series composers. Thankfully, the anime will also see a number of Ruby's English and Japanese voice actors reprise their roles from the core series, most notably Lindsay Jones and Sayori Hayami as Ruby Rose, Barbara Dunkelman and Ami Koshimizu as Yang Zhao Long, um, Aaron Zek and Yu Shimamura as Blake Belladonna, and Kara Eberly and Yoko Hikase as Vice Schnee. The opening theme for Ruby Ice Queendom anime is listed as Beyond Selves by Void Chords featuring L. Ending theme song for Ruby Ice Queendom anime is listed as Awake by the Japanese voice actress for Ruby, Sayori Hayami. And yes, a lot of these A lot of Japanese voice actors, also called seiryu in Japanese, will at times do double duty as pop idols too. So I guess as pop idols, they do double duty as actresses and singers. The series will also receive an illustrated adaptation from Versailles of the dead mangaka Kumiko Suekane, Versailles of the Dead, in Kadokawa's monthly comic Dengeki Daio magazine. Are you going to catch the early preview of Ruby Ice Kingdom? Let us know your thoughts on. All right, so here we go. Huh, I guess that does mean Alrighty then, so let's get on to the. And again, feel if anything here catches your interest, feel free to comment or ask about it. If anything here catches your attention. All right, so here's the next article we're going to look at. We're already through three of the five articles I was going to go through tonight. Wow. Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury reveals first synopsis, cast of characters, and official release date. Spencer McCooley, article by Spencer McCooley, published this past Friday. Okay, so Bandai Namco's next mainline entry into the grandfather of all mecha franchises, Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury, recently unveiled a bevy of new information for excited fans, including the series' first synopses, an overview of its principal cast of characters, and perhaps most excitingly, its official release date. This tidal wave of new info made its way to public eyes on June 17th, courtesy of a massive update um, to the series' official webpage. Let's see. Beginning with the synopsis, Bandai Namco has revealed that the series will apparently take place in the 22nd. I think I should say 122nd, not if. I think it's ND. 122nd year of the brand new AS Ad Stella timeline. Quote, a time wherein, quote, a multitude of corporations have entered space and built a huge economic system, unquote. Um, Noting that the story begins when quote, a lone girl from the remote planet Mercury transfers to the um, Astacasia School of Technology, run by the Venerit Group, who dominates the mobile suit industry, unquote. The production team then introduced the girl as series redheaded main protagonist, Suleda Mercury, who, quote, with a scarlet light burning in her pure heart, walks step by step through a new world. Well, that's what the girl looks like right there. That's the concept art right there, I'm guessing. A synopsis also revealed the name of the series' redheaded main protagonist, introducing her as Suletta Mercury, who, as expanded upon by her official bio, the Suletta is a quote second year student in the piloting department who transferred to the school from Mercury, unquote. Described as quote timid and somewhat in brackets lacking in communication skills, Suletta will pilot the previously revealed and main character color scheme bearing Gundam Ariel. There you go. There's that look right there. Alongside Suletta, Bandai Namco also introduced a number of her um, Assist-Kasia school classmates. First up is Marine Rembrandt, quote, an attractive and academically distinguished second year student in the management strategy department, unquote, who is, quote, the only daughter of um, Darling Rembrandt, president of the Beneric Group and chairman of the school's board. Unsurprisingly, given this pressure, Marine, quote, has a strong rebellious feeling towards her father, unquote. Notably, as she is in the management strategy department rather than the piloting program, Marine is the only one of the 5 revealed characters to not have her own signature mobile suit. I guess that's what Marine looks like right there. Anybody else has come in yet to say anything? Nope, just the 2 of us, Rick. Just the 2 of us, you and I. Anyways, back to the article here. Then there's Guel Jetruk, quote, an heir to the Jetruk, and then it says Jeturk, so I don't know which one it is. An heir to the Jeturk heavy machinery, one of the group's 3 branches, and a third-year student in the piloting department, unquote. Though he holds, quote, a rough temperament and is quick to anger, unquote, the pink-haired youth is also known as, quote, the ace pilot of Jeturk House, quote, a moniker and reputation which has given him, quote, absolute confidence in his own skills. I wouldn't be surprised if that absolute confidence borders on arrogance or conceit. Would not be surprised if that happened. Anyways, getting back to the article here. In service of his role, Guel pilots the Beetle-themed Guel's Delanza, a specification which indicates his mobile suit may have undergone a high degree of customization. Next up is Elon Seris, quote, the top pilot backed by Pale Technologies, one of the group's 3 branches, unquote. Quote, a third-year student in the piloting department, Elan is a taciturn and solitary person who doesn't open his heart to anyone in the school, writes Bandai Namco. Quote, he has an interest in Suletta, unquote. So kind of a quiet one then. This guy's a quiet kind of guy. Ilan is also the pilot of the sleek, rifle-wielding Gundam um, Ferract. There it is right there. There's a picture of it right there. Rounding out these initial reveals is Shadiq Zanelli, quote, an adopted child of the CEO of Grassley Defense Systems, um, one of the group's three branches, and, quote, a third-year student in the piloting department who leads Grassley House. A, quote, smooth-talking ladies' man with a carefree manner, unquote. Shadiq, though still a student, quote, has shown his skill in business too, in brackets, as he is a candidate for the next generation executive. Unquote. There he is right there. Like his fellow ace pilots, Guel and Elan, Shadiq sits behind the controls of his own unique mobile suit. In this case, the appropriately regal Michaelis. Oh, there it is right there, Michaelis. But anyways. Finally, Bandai Namco confirmed the series will begin airing in Japan on Sunday, October 2nd. While no specifics were given, the company also confirmed that they have a simulcast planned for outside of Japan. Unquote. Further, on July 14th, Bandai Namco will hold a preview screening of the Witch from Mercury's forward episode, aptly named Prologue, at each of the Gundam Factory locations in Yokohama, Odaiba, Fukuoka, and Shanghai, otherwise known as the homes of the life-size RX-78 Unicorn, RX-93 FFV, and Freedom Gundams statues, respectively. Are you excited for Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. All right, so there we go. Got through 4 of the 5 articles already. All right, our last article we're going to go through. Okay, still 2 of us here, okay? Hey, Rick, how you doing there, man? Hope you're enjoying the news stories here. All right. Okay, so let's get going here on the. All right. Western Astro Boy reboot in development from Miraculous Ladybug creator will tackle modern issues like social media and environmental damage. Oh boy. Is this another take of somebody in modern? They're trying to just use a legacy character to push an agenda? I hope not. But from the sound of it, it sounds like it's exactly what they're doing. Article by Spencer McCooley, published June 24th. It's time for Rocket Boy to rocket once more as Osamu Tezuka's iconic creation is reportedly set to receive a brand new animated television reboot focused on modern-day issues, courtesy of Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir creator and director um, Thomas Astruck. So it's not even a Japanese person who's doing this. It's probably exactly what I'm thinking. It's somebody going to try to use a latest character that is well known and well liked and has been for a long time to push an agenda. As first reported by Variety in a June 16th exclusive, the return of Astro, or Adam, as he is known in the original Japanese, were reportedly comprised of 52 half-hour long episodes, all of which will be rendered via 3D CGI by the French production studio behind Miraculous Ladybug, Method Animation. That's supposed to be like method acting. Further, the trade news outlet relayed that the reboot stories will deal with the pressing issues facing people today, such as social media, the internet, and human-caused environmental damage. Oh yeah, we got a tree hugger here. This deal was struck between the aforementioned Method Animation and Monaco-based entertainment production company Shibuya Productions, whose most notable credit currently stands as the awkward at best video games Shenmue 3 and Twin Mirror, after the two jointly acquired the rights to the robotic hero from Tezuka Productions. Okay. As of writing, the details of this deal remain undisclosed to the public. All right. In a joint statement issued alongside this announcement, Method Animation and Shibuya Productions asserted, quote, Tezuka's original comics were far advanced in delivering a powerful message to readers worldwide. These fantastic stories of the little boy who flies are all about strong values that still resonate today for a global audience, unquote. Quote, it is a huge responsibility to revisit the mythical character of Astro Boy, unquote, said Shibuya Productions co-founder, president, and CEO, Jerdrick Biscay. Quote, I am particularly happy to have met at Method Animation, an ambitious and passionate team that will allow us to take this series to the highest heights, unquote. Likewise, Method Animation founder and president um, President Aton um, Somachi um, praised how quote Thomas Astruck will bring a fresh and unique take on Tezuka's work, unquote. Wonder how Tezuka would feel about it, though. It'd be interesting to hear. I think though Osamu Tezuka is probably dead by now because Astro Boy goes all the way back to the 50s. That's you guys know that. Quote: Astro Boy is so universal and contemporary that we are not only developing a um, reboot, but a consistent um, continuum in the full respect of the original universe, unquote, he explained. Quote, it took us several months to secure the rights, and there were, of course, many Japanese and American companies which were circling this property Ultimately, in parentheses, Tezuka's right holders entrusted us with it because we have a similar sensibility and culture of graphic novels in both our countries, and we have achieved with, in smaller quotes, miraculous in Japan and around the world, also played a big role in convincing them. Unquote. Quote, it's a collaboration based on respect and trust. He concluded, noting that he was aware of how years of terrible U.S. adaptations that quote unquote washed out a given work's original identity have soured many or even the thought of a Japanese work being handled by any other country. Struck himself responded to the announcement, excitement adding to the statement that he had, quote, no words to describe how much Osamu Tezuka has influenced my life and my work, unquote. Quote, Astro Boy is a cult series that has overseen the future like no other property, unquote, opined Astruc. Quote, in the strange world we live in today, everybody needs Astro Boy to come back. This right here is from the 1980 Astro Boy series, Astro Boy episode 1, The Birth of Adam. Notably, Asterix's upcoming take on Astro Boy will mark just the third time Japanese icon has been adapted by an international studio. 2009, the Hong Kong-based Imagi Animation Studios released a CGI Astro Boy, um, which many may remember due to its all-star voice cast, which included such talent as Kirsten Bell, Samuel L. Jackson, and Nicolas Cage. Sadly, the film would go on to be a complete flop, earning just $42 million against a $65 million production budget and leaving fans divided straight down the middle over its quality. No, seriously, according to Rotten Tomatoes, the film currently holds an exact 50% rating from both critics and audiences. Wow. Wow. Let's see. Guess Rick must have taken off on me because he's doing his own show. Right, I guess. Oh, no, there's somebody is. I see there, Rick. I don't know if that's still you, or if somebody else can. If you haven't already, if you can go ahead and like and share the stream, we'll get some more friendly people in here. Where 10 years later, French studio Something Big would work with Tezuka Productions to produce Go Astro Boy Go, a preschool age series which ultimately ran for just one 52 episode season. This is kind of what it looks like. Are you excited for Astro Boy's return? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. All right, so that's basically all for the articles that I have for you guys tonight. Is I just didn't expect them to go this fast. Usually, when I get 5 or 6, it does take me quite a bit. I usually can get up to possibly like at least hour and a half out of them, but these articles just read quickly, probably because there wasn't as much editorializing to do. But just beyond, we're like hour and 4 minutes here. So, anyways, any thoughts or questions on what I've covered thus far? I'll share the screen for a moment. As I said, you can always go ahead and comment and comment or ask questions if anything catches your attention there. Give you a moment to respond. Here. And then you round about, I'll turn you inside out, you know. And it's a roundabout and lead you inside out. Let's see. Let's see now. I'm just okay. Anything you want to ask about or talk about before I continue on? I'm gonna do some wrestling roundup here. And with that, we'll move on to wrestling round. So first off, of course, tonight's Raw marks the return of John Cena to WWE as he's coming back to celebrate 20 years with the company. Um, a lot of people have been talking about this possibly leading to a possible match between him and Theory for the United States Championship. And speaking of which, of course, this week's WWE programming, Raw, SmackDown, main event, and even NXT, all leading into this Saturday's Money in the Bank pay per view. As many of you know, the Money in the Bank is a match in which it's a type of ladder match in which they put a briefcase above the ring, and traditionally it's been a case where they put a contract in that briefcase, a contract for a championship title match for any time that the person may want to cash that in. I think they might have changed it up a little bit here this year, but that's traditionally what's been going on. Of course, both of the two Money in the Bank matches, both men's and women's, have seven. Will ultimately have seven participants. In the men's ladder match, they already the five that are already qualified for the Money in the Bank match are Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Omos. And on the women's side, the women's Money in the Bank match has Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Shotzi, Lacey Evans, and Raquel Rodriguez thus far. And the women's side of it, there's still one more participant to be announced, whereas on the men's side of it, still two more. On the undercard of the pay per view, you include Theory defending the WWE United States Heavyweight title against Bobby Lashley, And both women's titles, both Raw and SmackDown women's titles, will be on the line as Bianca Belair defends the Raw women's title against Carmella. And on the SmackDown side of it, Ronda Rousey will be defending against Natalya. And then to open up the show, the WWE, the Unified World Tag Team titles will be on the line as the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso, will be defending the titles against the Street Profits. That's all, of course, of the WWE news we have for you for right now. I might have more, of course, tomorrow. As now, let's see. Let's get ready to. Now, of course, last night, AEW held its Forbidden Door. Well, okay, so AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling did a basically co-promoted a show last night known as Forbidden Door, in which the AEW and New Japan stars were involved. We had a few title changes, of course, and some matches that would lead into this Wednesday's Blood and Guts pay-per-view. Or not Blood and Guts pay-per-view, I'm sorry. Blood and Guts event on Dynamite, which I think is just a very brutal type match. On the card, of course. From last night. Opening match, Minoru Suzuki and Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara of the Jericho Appreciation Society defeat Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino to gain the advantage in the Blood and Guts matchup. Also, in a winner-take-all match for both the IWGP and Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions FTR would defeat both Roppongi Vice of Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta and the United Empire duo of Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb, who coming the United Empire team there were the IWGP Tag Team Champions coming into this. So now FTR is now a triple champion, holding the Ring of Honor, IWGP, and AAA World Tag Team Championship. So excuse me a moment as Chloe is barking again, and I need to go tend to her. I'll be right back. I'll leave you some music to while I'm gone. And I'm back. Give me one more time, Ged. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Anyways, sorry about that. Alright. Anyways, as we continue on with talking about some of the stuff that's happening up, going to be coming up this weekend as well as happening this last weekend. Um, yeah, so FTR is now triple champion, triple tag team champion in terms of holding the Ring of Honor, AAA, and IWGP tag team championships. Um, in a fatal four-way to establish the new AEW All Atlantic title, Pac defeated Chuck Connors, Malachi Black, and Miro. Now, originally, Tomohiro Ishii was supposed to be part of this match. Apparently, he was injured recently prior to the event. So Chuck Connors, who Ishii had beaten in the New Japan version of the tournament, um, replaced Ishii in another six-man tag. The team calling themselves the Dudes of Attitude, harkening back to a term Sting used back when he was with WCW. Sting, Darby Allin, and Shingo Takagi defeat the defeat the Bullet Club members of El Fantasma and Mark and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Piccolo in their corner. Now, of course, this is kind of a reunion. Young Bucks are more AEW now. That's where more of their focus is. They are, of course, part of the management team there with Kenny Omega. But but they were at one point part of Bullet Club, and now in their reunion, they lost to Darby Allin, Sting, and Shingo Takagi. Going back, going back to the to the first match for a moment, the Jericho Appreciation Society and Minoru Suzuki defeating Eddie Kingston, Peter Yuta, and Shota Umino. Apparently, at some point after the match, Chris Jericho, from what I heard on WrestleMania's coverage of this, Chris Jericho went backstage to kind of like extend his hand to Shota Umino and say, yeah, he gained his respect. Only for once Shota dropped his guard to have Jericho throw a fireball in Shota's face. This shows you the kind of man Jericho. Okay. Um, Anyways, getting back down to the results. So, yeah, we talked about that. Okay. Thunder Rosa retained AEW Women's World Title over Toni Storm. Um, let's see, Will Ospreay with his United Empire, the United Empire members Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, collectively known as Aussie Open, retained the IWGP United States Heavyweight Title over Orange Cassidy, and making his AEW debut, Claudio Castagnoli, who many WWE fans would remember as Cesaro, would defeat Zack Sabre Jr. in what was said to be a very classic technical match. Originally, Bryan Danielson was supposed to have taken on Zack Sabre Jr., but was unfortunately injured, not medically cleared to compete. So he asked Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli, to come in, and Claudio Castagnoli not only debuted but won his debut in AEW here at Forbidden Door. And then in a IWGP World Heavyweight Title Fatal Four Way match, Jay White would retain the title over Adam Cole, Adam Page, and Kazuchika Okada. Now, according to some of the reports, this may not, Jay White retaining this way may not have necessarily been the original plan, as it was reported that possibly during the match, Adam Cole may have injured himself, and Jay White, because usually in a fatal four-way match, it's the whole idea of the champion usually loses their advantage in a fatal four-way because they don't have to be pinned or submitted. Because usually the champion in a one-on-one match, the champion normally has the advantage because the only way that a title in most promotions can change hands is via pinfall or submission. However, and when you have a multi-man match like this, like a fatal four-way, you have a case where where the champion doesn't necessarily need to be pinned, and one of the other guys becomes the champion. If it was me, instead of having this like a fatal four-way like this, I would have made it an elimination match. I would have made it an elimination match, and that way you ultimately have to pin the reigning champ in order to I prefer elimination matchups as opposed to you know one fall match like this or multi-man match. It is more of a test of your endurance and your skill. And then the crown, and then in the main event, crown interim AEW World Title match, World Champion John Moxley defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, the reason, of course, there was an interim AEW World Heavyweight Title is because rather than stripping CM Punk of the AEW World Heavyweight Title, they're just going to let him stay on as while he's injured, and recuperating from his foot operation. The heel is broken foot. They're going to just have somebody else to fill in for him. As a traditionalist, I don't like this idea. Most traditional, promotions like NWA have always held that if you cannot defend your title within the 30-day, not a 30-day period, then you have to forfeit it. You know, um, and they have much like what NWA just did in the case where Matt Cardona, who had a broken arm, was medically not cleared to wrestle, and therefore you had the four-way match there. But as I said, I think if you're gonna have multi-man matches like that, they should be elimination matches, not single fall matches. I mean, I think that would make more sense. Of course, the only problem is that having a multi-man elimination match, like the multi-man, like the fatal four-way for the IWGP World, what just to get the one pin here took like 20 minutes, 21 minutes 5 seconds. The other four-way match that took 15 minutes 10 seconds. So the problem I understand is when you have, and again even in the triple threat match here, for the tag team title as well, you should have to pin all your opponents. But in the tag team match, it took 16 minutes. Maybe a tag team match is naturally going to take longer than your regular matches because more people involved, more time needed to get all your spots in. So, hey, toys, glad you're here, man. I did some anime stories earlier. I see you gave me a bunch of emotes that I have emocrons. I have no idea what they mean, but thank you for the like and share, by the way. Um, Thank you for dropping in. Actually, towards the end of the show now because I got um, good vibes. Buffering. Let's see. Elbow cough. Leaning. Good vibes. Buffering. All right. Oh, now we have 3 people in here. Yay, 3 people. Glad to see you guys here. Anyway, so that's all I got to say about AEW. Now we do have one more piece of Impact Wrestling has a news on there. So this Friday, July the 1st, Impact Wrestling will be having its Against All Odds pay-per-view. Yeah, it does seem like some of these companies are having some of their pay-per-views on Fridays and Saturdays now. Like Impact's having theirs on Friday, and WWE's having their Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Saturday here. Impact Wrestling's having it Against All Odds pay-per-view this Friday, The one match that has been announced, I do know of that has been announced, is for the Impact World title. Um, Josh Alexander defending the Impact World title against Violent by Design, Joe Doran. So big lanky cowboy there going after the walking weapon, as he's called. So that's all for the wrestling news. So is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about or bring up? We're just past the hour and a half mark here. We've already kind of gone through all the articles and stuff, so I'll give you guys a minute or two to see if you guys want to. Anything else you want to ask about or talk about or whatever? And if not, we'll probably start to wrap things up here. Yeah, I know you just got here, so it's like, and oh, we're ending already. Yeah, I already got through all the material, so unless you guys have anything you want to bring up or ask about or anything like that, you guys have a moment or two to do that. Three is a magic number. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. They did in the family. And there's three in the family. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Yes, there's three in the family. And there's three in the family. Mama and Daddy had a little baby. They did the magic number. Yes, they did as a family. Brave star, brave star, brave star, brave star. Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf. Brave star, brave star, brave star, brave star. Drink of the bear, feet of the puma, brave star, brave star. Cosmic rays, no need to fear, they're here, just fall for four. Fantastic Four, that's what it's for. Fantastic Four. Richard is elastic, Sue can fade from sight. Johnny's the human torch, the thing just loves to fight. All for four. Fantastic Four, that's what the score. Fantastic Four, that's what the score. Fantastic Four. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright. Well, anyways, as it would appear, you guys have nothing you want to bring up or anything like that. It'd be a good time to start winding down the show. Um, Today being Monday, June 27th, 2022. I'm going to go ahead and take a look back at this day, news history. History! All right, well, without any further ado, let's take a look back at this day, news history. First off, On a well, bit of sad news. Um, on this date, in 2012, um, let's see, actor, composer, and musician uh, Don Grady, who was born Don Lewis Agradi, passed away on this date at the age of 68. Um, Earlier in his life, of course, he was known for his time on as a Musketeer on Mickey Mouse Musketeers and as Robbie Douglas on the long-running television series My Three Sons. Um, Later in life, he had become more of a done more composing work for movies and stuff like that. Really animated movies like Jetsons the movies, uh, Globe Hunters, and Around the World and 80 Days Adventure. So Don Grady passed away on this date in 2012 at the age of 68 from, I believe it was myeloma. They said, let me see what they said here. Yeah, from um, myeloma, myeloma, myeloma. I think that's a type of skin cancer, by understand. So, anyways, so with that, move on to the next thing here, next piece of Nietzsche history here. And I do have some other announcements too that you guys are going to want to pay for after the show as well, or after I get done with this day in Nietzsche history. Looks like you are. Um, Anyways, getting back to the oh, wrong, wrong screen, Mike. All right. So, anyways, our next piece of Nietzsche history comes from about 5 years ago, or yeah, 5 years ago today. On this date, 5 years ago today, the brains-based anime, brains-based produced anime, Anonymous Noise, mirrored, or I'm sorry, concluded its run on Japanese TV on this date 5 years ago today. So, brains-based is Anonymous Noise. Um, would conclude its television run on this date 5 years ago today. And also on this date, this time in 2018, so 4 years ago today, on this date, 4 years ago today in 2018, the 10th and final issue of Black Cloud from Image Comics went on sale on this date 5 years ago, 4 years ago today. This date 4 years ago today, the the 10th and final issue of Black Cloud from Image Comics went on sale on this date for $3.99. It was 28 pages. All right, so that's all I got for you in terms of the history portion of the show. Couple of quick announcements, of course. So this Friday, of course, R.J. Carter from Critical Blast will be joining me for the historical comic retrospect this week. We'll be looking at quality, books or books, uh, public comic books that went on sale from quality on February of 1939, which was Feature Funnies number 18, which will be meaning we'll be reading, of course, the clock. The primary feature will be looking at the clock, who we've all nicknamed Captain Napkin Face. Um, Also, Black X, Espionage with Black X, also be on the card, and then whatever time we have remaining, we'll go through the rest of it, see what reprints have to say and show us. So that's Friday. And then 1 week from today, here in the States, it's the 4th of July, also known in the States as Independence Day, the day that America gained its independence from England. Um, and of course, as such, I will be doing an open panel night at night, in which, of course, many of you will. I'll send out a link to the show to, and then we'll just come on and hang out, talk about whatever niche topics we come up with, whether that be comics, cartoons, anime, manga, pro wrestling, whatever strikes our fancy. So with that, I thank you guys for being here tonight. Um, I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. So until then, bye.